People always ask how I balance my family life with 400 shows a year. I'm just doing what I love with the people I love. It's my magic life.
I like Wes Iseli. I like everything about him.
All right, on today's episode, we have Madeleine Schwartz. She is a certified personal trainer, fitness nutrition specialist, all-around awesome chick. And Natalie found her on the internet where she runs a Mom of
Multiples Facebook page, but it's a fitness page for moms of multiples.
There you go.
Which I thought was awesome.
And if you're listening to this and you're like, I'm not a mom of multiples, how is this going to fit me? Just stick with this, guys. This will fit you.
Yes.
As magicians, we have to fit in boxes. We're traveling all around the country, and we have to stay in shape, and it's hard. So having somebody that can check in with you and help you out and tell you how to eat right, exercise, and especially for Natalie, get back in shape after giving birth. Madeleine's been a godsend. So everybody, let's welcome Madeleine. Woo! Hey, girl, how are you?
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm doing well. Out here in California. So thanks again for having me on your podcast.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for being here. So tell us a little about yourself. As far back as I know is your basketball days in college, but were you into working out, exercising, and all that in high school as well?
So growing up in California, the outdoors are super accessible, especially in Northern California and in the San Francisco area. So as a kid, growing up, we would always go for hikes and, outdoors, camping, that sort of thing. So really as a kid, it just kind of was so natural to me. And then, I started playing sports, in elementary school, specifically basketball, all through middle school and in high school. And just really fell in love with the sport and athletics. And so that's kind of what got me started into the whole fitness world. And then I decided in high school that I wanted to be educated more on how the body works and how it functions as a whole. And then I went to San Francisco State and studied kinesiology. So that's kind of where it all started.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. I like being outdoors. I hate working out. I just put it bluntly. I hate working out. So that's my problem. I really have to convince myself to do it.
Exactly. That's the hard part about it, which is why,
Yeah, you always hear people like, find something that you love to do and you'll want to do it. And I'm like, I have yet to find that. I've tried yoga, I've tried Pilates, I've tried workout DVDs, I've tried the treadmill, I've tried just winging my own thing. None of it's fun.
I don't enjoy sprinting on the treadmill. I'm good.
Yeah, right. So, but it's more than just working out, I suppose, too.
It's overall health. It's making yourself, for us, fitting in boxes. That's
right.
a main thing. Madeleine, you got to think, some of these illusions that we have, they're as expensive as a car. And if you gain 20 pounds, it's like having a car you can't drive because you don't fit in it. It's a constant reminder. These boxes don't give.
Yeah, how big are the boxes?
That's the thing. They need to be as small as possible.
Right.
So, yeah. Anyway, so were you working as a physical therapist while you were in college, or did that happen after?
That happened kind of during and after. My dad actually got into a pretty bad bicycle accident when I was a freshman in college or maybe a senior in high school. And he had to do a bunch of physical therapy. And so that was kind of the start of it all for me, kind of wanting to get into physical therapy and corrective exercise. And so that really sparked an interest for me, as bad as it was to see my dad in an accident. It kind of really sparked that interest for me. And then so that was kind of my plan, was to get, after college, go back to school for physical therapy. So I did a lot of volunteer work at hospitals, and I had a couple different jobs at chiropractic office and physical therapy office as an assistant, actually working with patients and learning how to rehab injuries and that sort of thing. And so that's kind of where my background from corrective exercise really started. And I loved it. I enjoyed it so much, but realized that I really wanted to incorporate that into fitness as well. And so that's kind of where I took the direction for personal training and fitness. So that's, kind of how the corrective exercise really started for me.
So were you helping your dad with at-home exercises, or you just watched him go to therapy?
Yeah, I pretty much just watched him. I mean, he was in the hospital for 4 months. It was a very bad accident.
Goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, luckily he's, fully recovered and okay now, but at the time it was pretty serious. So, he had to learn how to walk again and stuff like that. And that's, so I really just watched and took it all in like a sponge.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty crazy stuff.
So I know that you can train people at home, and you can do the at-home coaching thing. How far does it go? Do you do the diet plans as well? Tell us about that.
Yeah, sure. So for the nutrition, I will talk with the person who's interested in, a certain goal, and depending on what that goal is, whether it's weight loss or strength, we'll kind of just tweak their current nutrition, what they're doing right now, because I really don't want to make it too hard. That's the key with kind of my programming, is make it simple, right? Or else you're not going to do it.
Right.
And that's kind of how it is in life. It's like if it's too hard and it's too many changes, most likely it won't be like a lifelong thing, which is kind of what we want with health.
Right.
Overall wellness is something that is sustainable and long-term. So we live long, healthy lives. That's, like you said, enjoyable, but again, not too much change. So as far as the nutrition, it's not really a meal plan or anything. It's just, again, making tweaks to what you're currently doing. Maybe it's going to be more protein or less carbs, or need to eat more water, that kind of thing. So, that's kind of my approach to it all, is just, again, making small changes along the way.
Nice. I like that idea, because our problem is, or at least, my problem is, I try and keep up with Wes, which I can't do anymore, I've realized, because he will either be all in on a diet, 100%, nothing, no cheating, can't even go out to dinner barely and eat anything if you go out with friends, and it just, I can't do that. Or he is all out, and it's, chips with dinner and ice cream for dessert and brownies, and I'm following along, and I'm gaining way more weight than he is, and then when he's all in, I'm losing way less weight than he is. It's all around not fair. Right. So I've just been like, I can't follow you anymore. I can't do this. I want it to be more of something I can do for a lifelong commitment, because I want to be able to go out with friends. If they're going to a pizza place, I want to be able to have a couple slices of pizza and not freak out that
Absolutely.
I shouldn't have had the pizza because it was way too many carbs or something,
Totally.
And me on the other end, if I'm on a diet, my little girl tries to give me an M&M.
He won't even eat one M&M.
I don't want it, no, because I want the whole bag. That's my problem.
And then our little girl is sucking that up, and she's like, I don't like it when he's on a diet. I'm like, well, honey, you don't have to be on a diet. I don't want her going down that road of thinking either. So it's this big old juggling thing of trying to eat right and pass that on to our daughter, but not have her thinking the only way you can eat right is by strict diets. It's hard.
Another,
Definitely. And most people that I come across, actually probably, 90% of them have that all or nothing mentality. And it's just, I don't know, society kind of painted that picture for diets and stuff when it really shouldn't be like that. And that's kind of how you break the cycle with the yo-yo dieting and the, up and down in weight, is learning how to make it fit into your current lifestyle. And that's kind of what I'm all about, because I enjoy those things too, drinks with friends and, going out to dinner and that kind of thing, and not stressing too much about one off day.
Right. Yes.
But usually what gets me off my diet, and then it's like, who cares, is when we have 20-hour work days.
Yeah.
And I'm eating junk to stay awake. I need sugar. I need just something in my mouth, or I'll fall asleep, and I have a car full of people. I need to protect them, and caffeine and feeding your face keeps me awake.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to be hard for you, traveling all day like that and being able to plan meals, that would be challenging for sure.
And eating junk on the road. I mean,
Yeah.
at a fast food restaurant. I mean,
Yeah.
I've started Atkins since I've been in pandemic. I gained 30 pounds in pandemic overnight, it seems like. And it's like now I'm counting carbs, and it's like I thought chicken nuggets would be a better option, but I didn't realize how much carbs was in the little breading and the chicken nuggets.
Yeah,
So-
it makes a huge difference.
I had no idea.
It's funny because a lot of people associate road trips, including myself, with like all the good stuff, like all the that's bad for me, all the good fast food and the treats in the car and stuff. So
Okay, hot tamales. That cinnamon. That cinnamon and sugar keeps me awake, and something chewy. Oh, I could eat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, we do try and be halfway good a lot of times. We'll pack breakfast, we'll pack lunch, but there's only so much you can pack and keep good and not spoil in 20 hours without a refrigerator.
Right, you're gonna pack
Yeah.
a big cooler or something.
Right. So we do our best, but by the end of the day, when you're tired, it's like your guard just goes down, and you go to a restaurant and you're like, screw it, large fries, please. And it's awful.
Yeah, so it's just learning how to make better choices in those situations, and
What do you recommend though? Do you recommend a low carb, or do you recommend different plans for different people? How do you do that with your training?
I sort of recommend a well-balanced diet. I do the same for pretty much everyone, just because our body definitely needs carbohydrates. And again, it's that breaking that mental cycle of like fad diets, and that's when you get into the all or nothing kind of mindset of trying all these different things, and it's like, okay, keto and no carbs, and there's all this stuff out there. So for me, I recommend keeping a balanced diet, which means carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and of course healthy carbohydrates like grains and oats and brown rice, quinoa, that kind of thing, bread, whole wheat bread, and just making those changes from like that white flour and switching to whole grains is just like a huge difference. And your body really does need that to function, and that's where that energy comes from, is those carbohydrates, which is why you reach for all those sugary foods, is because sugar is carbs.
Yeah.
And so it gives you a jolt of energy, and then the sugar part is where the energy dip comes into play. So that's why lots of people reach for the candy.
Yeah. Oh, we definitely do when we're that tired. Absolutely.
Yeah. So with like healthy carbs, you don't get that energy, energy dip. You have a constant level of energy, which keeps you energized all day long, and it kind of stays at that level versus dropping down and then you wanting more.
So this may be a stupid question, but you're saying wheat flour instead of like the all-purpose white flour. Is it?
Yep.
Does it equal out to be the same amounts as far as recipes go?
I've made a few recipes with whole wheat flour, and I've used the same amount.
Okay.
So yeah, you could play around with it and try it, but yeah, I've used the same amount.
Okay.
Even like if you're making sweets and stuff too, you could easily substitute whole wheat flour and make it just a tiny bit healthier. So again, small changes make a huge difference.
Yeah, we'll have to try that. That's an easy change.
You're the baker.
Yeah.
That's an
Go for
easy
it.
little thing I think I could handle, because all you got to do is just buy the flour. That's
Right.
So yeah.
So, do
Cool.
you have any tips for being on the road and not going for junk food? I mean, what do you do? Do you stop at a grocery store and try to get just beef jerky or protein snacks, or what do I do?
Yeah. I would definitely recommend protein to keep you full and satiated. Protein and fats keep you full longer. But I personally would probably go to the grocery store and get a couple things at a time. And if I'm eating fast food, maybe I get like a protein style burger or something, or only eat half the bun, or maybe not get fries. So small things like that. Just being more aware of your choices.
See, we don't
Right.
have the protein burger type thing here in Virginia like you guys do in California. It's totally different. We don't have the wrapped in lettuce option here that that I've seen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's throwing the bun out the window, and I feel guilty doing that.
We could get a
Or give it to the chickens or something, but I still feel guilty about it.
We could get a grilled chicken sandwich instead of a
exactly.
burger or something. So yeah, easy things.
Like lots of sides and stuff you could do without, just getting the main entree at a fast food place and not getting the combo meal, that type of thing.
Yeah.
So what's really frustrating to me is doing research, trying to get in shape, and eating right, but it seems like no matter what I do, someone else has science. I'm doing air quotes, science, that says you're doing it wrong. It's frustrating. It's overwhelming. Just me doing research about Atkins, and now my Google keeps giving me all these different ads for all these other fad diets, and people saying I should only do 100 push-ups a day and you'll have a killer body, or eat carbs isn't the problem, it's this, or only eat protein, and everybody is coming at you at 50 different angles, and you go to different doctors and they recommend different diet plans. It's so overwhelming. That's why we need you. That's why we're calling you. It's frustrating.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Frustrating. There's so much out there on the internet, especially. With that, I would say, to somebody just like, what is your end goal? Like, truly, what is your goal that you want from either health and fitness, or are you looking for an appearance that you want? And then once you decide that, then you can really dial it down and do what's best for your body. So, some people are super unrealistic with health goals. Like, a 50-year-old woman is not going to get a six-pack anymore. So it's just really being realistic about what you want and how you want to live your life, and really fitting it into your current lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this question, because you have triplets and we have twins. And since they're being born, I would usually do a lot of the cooking, and I would try and do healthier meals. But I don't have time because I breastfeed. I have to breastfeed every 3 hours, which is, if you start at 2 o'clock, you're going to start again at 5 o'clock. So really it's not a total of 3 hours off between.
Sure.
So cooking has kind of gone to the wayside, and we've done a lot of things that Wes can do. So it's frozen foods and things. It's kind of still a little bit of survival mode with breastfeeding. Plus I homeschool my daughter who's 9 years old, and that takes up a lot of the day. Do you have any recommendations for that? Like shorter meals? I don't really guess I know what I'm asking. What am I asking?
You're
honey?
asking.
I don't know.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And yeah, I totally get it with the multiples. It's the time, and people even who don't have kids and just full-time jobs, time is always an issue for people. So what I would recommend doing, you could do it with frozen foods too, is making like the one sheet pan meals are awesome. So you can even do it very simple. Just get a bunch of frozen veggies, get a couple of chicken breasts, season it very basic, and just bake it. So the prep time is 5 minutes, and just throw it in the oven, bake it. You can even do extra, so that way you have extra servings, leftovers for lunch, for dinner, and that way you don't have to think about what you're eating for lunch the next day. It's just in the fridge, ready to go.
Yeah.
And you have a healthy option.
Yeah.
So I do that a lot. I'll make extra of whatever I'm doing, and that way it's just quick, easy. I have it in the fridge, and again, it could be as simple as opening a frozen bag of vegetables, frozen chicken, and baking it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because it seems like a lot of the healthier meals that I make, everything's from scratch. And so it just takes a lot longer. And, when you don't have, because we work from home. So to book shows and things, when we're not on the road doing our magic shows and I'm home, I don't, and I didn't have twin babies, I had the time and I was fine with doing that and making stuff from scratch. It was fine. But boy, your time gets sucked up once you have babies. And I just like, we went to Sam's Club and just bought a whole bunch of just like ready-made meals. And it's like, that's nice for convenience, but I'm not sure it's exactly very healthy. So
yeah, you get all added sodium and all that kind of stuff.
Right,
Another thing I
exactly.
love doing is, I don't know if you guys have a crock pot, but
Yes.
I love just to throw some stuff in a crock pot and let it just cook and then have that pretty much all day as well. So
Yeah.
chili in there sometimes, or just like let the meat marinate and do like shredded chicken, and you can get some tortillas and make tacos, have some options with that meat in the fridge.
Yeah, that's a good idea. If you could eat some carbs there, hun, we could do that.
You can still do it. You can still do it too.
Carbs
You
are
and
not
Mom.
bad.
I know, but he's all in on the Atkins right now. So
Yeah.
it's stubbornness there. There's no leeway.
I'm a week and a half in. I'm down 10 pounds, and if I went to carbs right now, it would mess up my body. I'm gonna have to go it so slow to get back on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's awesome though. Great job.
Hey, thanks. I mean, I've been working out a little bit, but I haven't really hit the gym. I haven't had a time. And I have a gym in my backyard. That's the thing. It's just quit making excuses and do it. I'm in a pandemic. There's no reason. So yesterday I did 5 miles. We have hiking trails here at the property. So I went hiking. I have a tree house that's 20 some feet in the air. So I have 2 flights of stairs. So on my trail, I make it a thing to jog up the stairs and jog back down. So I'm running 2 flights of stairs every lap I make in my trails, and
There you go.
I try to make it fun. And I'm out in nature, and I'm getting some vitamin D, and trying to get some sunlight. So I'm
Yeah,
trying.
and he can get out there, but at that point
She's
I'm
breastfeeding
teaching
again.
school or breastfeeding. Yeah, and so by the time I get all of that stuff done, school done, and things around the house done that I got to get done, and office work, it's dark outside. I can't go walking on the trails.
Yeah, and that's one of the cool things about, the online coaching that I discovered is that, you can do these workouts 20, 30 minutes. If you have a couple pieces of equipment at home, you can really do a lot.
Yeah.
You can do a lot with body weight. So, yeah, as long as you can dedicate at least 20 minutes a couple times a week, that's really all you need.
Okay. Yeah, I have a what is it called? A postpartum or postnatal workout DVD, and I've been doing that, but it's been off and on, and but I have been trying, but I need to get back on it. I have to get the rest of this baby weight off. It's sad. So
Yeah. And,
But you said the main thing after giving birth is, rehab after birth was super important. And I never thought about it as rehab, but I mean, I can't hug her. If I touch her belly 5 months after giving birth, she gets mad at me because it's asleep.
it's numb. Yeah.
okay. And did you have a C-section?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Natural. I just stretched so much, the nerves got messed up. The doctor said it could take up to a year for it to be back to normal, but it's hard to describe the feeling. I told him it feels like he's reaching inside of me and touching my insides, and it's very uncomfortable because I can't feel the outside, but I can feel the pressure of him touching me on the inside, and it's gives you the chills. Yeah.
And Madeleine, she's taller than I am, so I mean, when I hug her, her boob's in my ear, so I'm just hugging her. I'm not picking on her. I'm not poking and being silly. I'm just that's at my regular height to hug her.
Yeah, just a regular basic
Yeah.
hug.
Yeah.
Right.
So tell me about rehab. I never thought about it as rehab. So the importance and the floor that you said you had to do. I don't know all the lingo.
So, this goes for postnatal work as well as just anybody who really is looking to strengthen their core and kind of get back into shape as far as core movement. But, we have a layer of muscles. They're called the stabilization muscles. And those are all those little muscles in the pelvic floor that is technically part of the core. And when those don't function well, it's really easy to get an injury and back pain, especially when you do, typical core exercises like crunches and, twists and all that kind of stuff. So it's really important to get those strong first before you move into any other exercises that could, especially for women post-birth, could really damage those muscles without strengthening. So again, the rehab side of it is more pelvic floor work. And it's good for anyone. not just, postnatal.
So is that Kegels? Doing Kegels?
Yep, that's a part of it. And
Okay.
then just like little pelvic tilts on the floor. So really just strengthening those inner muscles of
Okay.
the core. Lots of different exercises you could do within it. There's like dead bugs and, a bunch of exercises that you could do for
Okay.
that.
Did you say dead bugs or bed bugs?
Dead bug. So it's basically an exercise when you lie on your back and then you have your arms up towards the ceiling, legs up towards the ceiling, and then you kind of alternate them together. So I guess technically you look like a dead bug on the floor.
Oh, okay.
I got it now.
see.
I got it.
That's
I got it.
funny. Dead bug.
Never heard of that before.
Me neither. No.
I totally
love
get
that
it though.
one.
Yeah, I've definitely been doing lots of Kegels. So, but I hadn't been doing anything else. And then I had seen online and different things where people were saying, after you give birth, even after you're cleared after the 6 weeks to work out, don't do crunches. You'll mess up your stomach muscles. It's like, they're like a lot of women have, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a separation of the abs or something.
With yeah, it's when the abs actually like tear in half.
So how do you know if you have that or not and shouldn't do crunches?
Well, you could tell if you lie on your back and you, so it's like the muscles that are right under like your sternum.
Mm-hmm.
And actually it's better if you have somebody do it. You can't do it to yourself. You have to have somebody do it to you. But you take either 2 or 3 finger widths, and if you can feel in between those muscles more than 2 finger widths, then you have it.
Oh.
And basically, if you have 3 or 4 finger widths, like you have to go to physical therapy to correct it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so 2 is pretty minor, and you can kind of work around it yourself. But 3 or more, they recommend seeing an actual physical therapist for it.
So if there's no break between it is when you don't have it. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then you'd be fine to do crunches and all the ab work. You're not going to make things worse.
No.
Okay.
No.
And what about the 2 width? Will you make things worse if it's 2 width and you do crunches and all?
You definitely have to. So part of being pre and postnatal certified is that you learn which exercises aggravate it and which ones are better for it. So
Okay.
again, you have to be strengthening your pelvic floor muscles before you move into the crunches and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely a part of it.
Okay.
I was shocked to see her do this postpartum workout because it looked like she was doing nothing. I mean, a dead bug totally makes sense because it looked like she was just laying there at some
Aw.
parts.
But it was a workout. I was
Yeah,
exhausted
definitely.
afterwards.
Some of those basic movements that you won't even think are hard are pretty challenging to do.
Yeah. See?
I believe you, but I
Personal
was,
trainer agrees with me. Yeah, but just getting back to normal, it's not an easy task. And nobody tells you these things, Giving birth and having children is just this wonderful, miraculous thing, and nobody tells you about the hard parts. Nobody tells you about, trying to get your body back afterwards, or even the things during pregnancy that happen to you that are not fun. No one tells you about those things. They only tell you about the, wonderful baby that comes afterwards, which they're wonderful babies, but they don't tell you about the, the crying or the or the rehab you have to do afterwards with your body, and just, and especially after this birth. I know it took me longer. Lots of people are saying, you breastfeed, you're really going to lose the weight. You're going to lose it like that. It's going to be so fast. And I did not experience that with my daughter. And I had a hard time. I think I was wearing maternity clothes a year after I gave birth to her. And I was doing everything I could. And now having twins, people were like,
9 years later.
Yeah, 9 years later, I had twins.
Advanced maternal age.
Oh, hush your mouth. People are like, well, you're going to be breastfeeding too, so you are definitely going to lose it quick. And here I am 5 months out. I still have a belly pooch. I'm still in maternity clothes. It's sad to say, but it's true. And I get very discouraged a lot Wes can tell you, I get down on myself a lot. And so I told the doctor when I was there that I was really trying to get back. I definitely have my discouraging days, and I'll give up. But for the most part, I'm trying. And she was like, well, don't expect to be back to normal till maybe a year out. Don't expect to be out of maternity clothes at the earliest is 6 months. But then, then I have a sister who just had a baby, and she'll be in her normal clothes. I mean, she had her baby last Friday. She's probably going to be she's probably already in her regular clothes. She bounces back.
But she's also adopted. It's not the same genetics.
No, it's not the same genetics, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's so true.
I don't hear.
Big thing, she's
Yeah.
struggling, with the body image and stuff, and it's like you do have to remember that like 4 months, 5 months is really not that long, and it definitely takes some time for the body to change and get back to normal. And it is a lot of work, but you can do it. You just have to find something that works for you and stick with it, and know that you're going to have off days, and you just have to hop right back on, and you'll make progress.
So is it normal for me to still have a belly pooch? I mean, that's normal at 5 months out?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. I've talked to it's a couple of my clients. They're a year out and they still have the belly pooch, which we're working on. But
Yeah.
In West, you're right, genetics play a huge role as well. It's just everyone's different, and there are those women who literally give birth and the next day they're just like, it looks like they have a six-pack still. So it's just crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah,
I have a little bit of hate in my heart for those people, just a little bit.
She can't compare herself to her adopted sister. I mean,
No, I know.
Her sister's Asian and tiny to begin with. So, when she was 9 months pregnant, she looked like Natalie at 3 months pregnant. I mean, she barely had so you can't do that, honey. And,
No, I realize that. It's just that's just another thing that people don't talk about. So I feel like I'm not the norm at 5 months post-birth to still have a belly pooch. I feel like I'm definitely not normal, because it seems like everything you see, especially out in media and everything, these people, I guess they have cooks and personal trainers and everything else, they bounce back fast. And it's like, they can't all have the same genetics. I mean, it's discouraging to see that, and not to have, people like me out there that are like, hey, it's okay 5 months post-birth to have a belly. It's okay,
okay. Yeah, it is okay. I mean, you just gave birth to 2 babies, so.
Right, yes. And I try and tell myself that, but it's still discouraging sometimes. It still gets to me.
Madeleine, are most of your clients also use you as therapy, like Natalie is?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. You got to be friends with your personal trainer, because you got to let them know everything and just lay it all out and tell them when you cheat and when you're, when you're feeling good and when you're feeling bad. They need to know that. I think it's important.
Exactly. Sometimes, because I was an in-person trainer for, years, until kind of COVID happened and they went fully online. But a lot of times on my in-person sessions, like we would work out for half the session and then talk about their life for the second half of the session. So yeah, which I love. It's super fun, getting to know everyone. But yeah, it's definitely a part of the job, and working around all that life stuff too.
Yeah. Well, plus I just want to get her opinion if it really was normal to still have a belly pooch. So.
No, you're good. You're good. No, because I know it is. I know it does happen, because every time I've went to a gym and had a trainer, back then I was dating, and I would talk about everything. And it just, like 2 girlfriends just talking, but we're working out and sweating together as well.
Yep, exactly.
That's just the way it happens.
Uh-huh.
Well, let's turn it back to me, Madeleine.
Oh.
So
I've been taking up too much of your time.
After 40, weight loss is, you don't get a manual with the human body. And everybody said that it's going to hit. Anytime I've ever put on 5 pounds, I was able to take it off really fast. I better act right. And I weigh myself within, Natalie used to get mad at me. I'd weigh myself within a couple days of, doing real hard in the gym, and it would be off. But now it seems like it doesn't move. So what are the ages that you train people? I mean, all ages?
Ages, but my kind of specialty specialty is women and men 50 and above. I don't know, I just happened to, again, in-person training, that's just kind of the natural gravitation to clients that I had, and then the clients that I got. But I love working with not older, because you're not old, but not 20-year-olds either. So it's just really, really fun to show people their capability. When you get into that mindset, like, oh my gosh, I'm so old, my body is just so tired, and I can't do anything. It's really fun to see how strong you really can be at that age. So yeah, I really love working with that kind of population. And it's true, your body changes so much, and hormones and all that kind of stuff. And so it's just kind of finding the right fit for your own body.
And I think COVID stress, I mean, just the stress of COVID, and as a magician doing 400 shows a year, doing, 12 shows last year, it's very stressful. I have a new family. It was stress eating.
Totally. Yeah.
It's everything.
And I'm sure you were moving a lot more too when you're doing your shows and stuff. I mean, just movement alone, you burn so many calories.
Well, and we're like furniture movers is what they call illusionists, because you're bringing in big equipment and you're unloading a trailer twice a day sometimes.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So that's probably a huge part of it for you. It's just you're not moving as much as you were. And that's just a lot of calories that you're not burning anymore. So.
And my wife watching the baking channel and making cupcakes and desserts, because we actually had time, because we're always on the road. We never have time to make anything. The only time we have cakes in the house is if it's somebody's birthday. But during COVID, she was trying different things out, and I was eating it. Daggone it. I admit it.
We all were enjoying it very much.
Yeah.
We stopped that.
So with the Fit Mothers of Multiples group, I mean, there's a lot of wives' tales. I've heard the wives' tale of, now that are you breastfeeding? Good, because you won't have to work out. I mean, they're gonna suck that weight right off of you.
I can account for that not being true.
But we both heard it.
I've really heard that so much too, and I think it's true for some people, but other people it's not true. I don't think it's for every single person. You're just going to automatically lose weight.
I mean, I can definitely tell I get hungry a lot more often, and I definitely have to drink my water, because otherwise I'm just dying of thirst. So I drink a ton of water to be able to keep up. But it's not a miracle weight loss thing for me. If I have a dessert, I'm probably not going to lose weight the next day. So.
Yeah, I know. And I think that just depends too on how much people eat, in general. Not necessarily, because you burn more calories when you breastfeed. So that's kind of where that whole thing comes into play.
Right.
So if you're not eating a lot and you're burning extra calories, then yeah, you're going to lose weight. But, you do have to eat enough, probably more than you normally would, to produce milk and, make sure you're getting the milk that you want for the babies. So especially with twins.
Right.
So again, I think it just depends on the person and just how much they're eating in the day.
Right. Yeah. And I'm trying to not cut back too much, because I don't want to mess up the milk supply, but I'm also, there are days when I seriously go to bed and my stomach is rumbling as I'm climbing in bed because I'm hungry. But it's if I eat any more, it's too much. I can't eat anything else today. But I'm hungry still, and I'm trying to eat the right things. I'm trying to eat more protein. I mean, he's doing Atkins full on, but it does leak out into the rest of because we're all trying to. I don't want to make two different dinners, so we're eating more protein as a family, really, and less carbs as a family. But I will have a sandwich with bread on it instead of just eating the meat out of the bread type thing. So I am trying to do better and less carbs and things like that and healthy eating, but I do find myself being hungry when I'm doing well. I do end up losing weight, and I don't think it's messing with my milk supply, but I'm hungry when I'm losing weight. I don't know how to, and I'm drinking tons of water, because I know you can feel hungry when you're dehydrated as well.
Yep.
So I am drinking a lot of water. I've kept that jug that I got from the hospital. It has 32 ounces. I drink a good 3 to 4 of those a day. So I know I'm drinking enough, but I don't know why I'm
Sounds
hungry.
like you are.
So
Yeah, and I wouldn't recommend like dieting to anyone who's breastfeeding. But yeah, you definitely want to get enough calories in when the breastfeeding is happening. And generally, if you feel like you're hungry, you're probably not getting enough food. Yeah, like you said, you just want to make sure you're eating the right things.
right. And
But-
I feel like I am. And when I am on the right track and I'm eating the right things and I feel like I should have had enough servings, because I'll eat a little extra meat, or I'll have an extra sandwich or something, but I'm still hungry and I don't know how to fix that. So
Yeah, you're burning lots of calories right now. Breastfeeding, so it's probably what it is. And
Yeah.
your body is just going through the food, for that energy and milk supply.
yeah.
And do you know how many calories that you eat off the top of your head? Just curious.
No, I haven't been counting calories. But I mean, I could start.
If I ate 1,500, you're eating at least 2,000.
Okay.
But I'm not. You're not eating 3,000. I mean,
No.
you're not doing anything crazy.
No.
Yeah, 2,000 is a good number. For women, who are looking to lose weight, I always give them a number between 1,600 to 1,800, something like that, depending on their size and height and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, Natalie's 5'11", and I think she's probably doing around 2. And plus, she's got twins. She's breastfeeding. Does
2,000 is great.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think yeah.
Okay.
She'll be at the higher end of that.
Yeah.
So, what's some of your favorite things? Do you have some awesome success stories with your business and the online training or in-person training?
Let's see. For in-person training, I've helped lots of people, and like I said, my favorite thing is working with. I've worked with a lot of women. I work with men too, but I don't know. I have a better connection in-person training women, and it's just awesome to see the confidence in people go up like that who are 55 and up, who think they're just like it's over for them, it's too late, that kind of thing, and just seeing them move their bodies like they never thought they could again, and just the confidence really and the energy. I love seeing people have more energy. That's like life right there, because without energy, who are we?
It's a weird catch-22, because when you don't work out, you don't have energy to work out.
No, and that's like a really hard part about starting a program. It's just like the energy is not there.
Right.
And that's one of the hard things about not convincing, but like telling my clients that like I promise like 2-3 weeks in, you're going to feel so much better and you're going to have so much energy. And of course, 2-3 weeks in, I'm like, oh my God, I feel like a whole different person. So I love seeing that. That's like the best.
How many days a week do you recommend somebody working out?
If you're just starting, brand new, probably like 3 to 4 days. And again, it depends on what you're looking to do. I mostly do, strength training. So if you're brand new to strength and resistance training with weights and stuff, and not have super heavy weights, but even just body weight stuff, definitely probably 3 days a week to start, just because your body may get a little bit sore and you have to recover properly. So yeah, 3 days, and then eventually, 4 days.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I get on to, when I get into working out, it's almost like I feel guilty if I skip a day a week. And so it's like, well, how many days a week should I really realistically be aiming to get a week? So, okay, that's good to know. And here's another thing I would like to ask you as far as stretching goes. I always tell Wes, because after you work out, you should stretch. You should warm up and then afterwards stretch, because your muscles are warm and you need to stretch to get them. Is that not a thing? Because he hates to stretch. He doesn't want to stretch.
It's a thing. I don't think there's actual evidence that proves whether it's better to do it before or after. Or you could do it a whole separate day. So I don't think there's like an actual evidence that if you do it after your workout, it's going to be better. But you could, like, say on your rest day or off day, you could do 15 minutes of stretching and just make it like a separate thing. But yeah, it's definitely important to stretch, especially for you nutritionists fitting in boxes. So yeah.
See, she's going, huh? I don't know if you heard that or not. But here's the thing: if I'm lifting weight or I'm working out hard, you feel it. I don't feel the relief or on workout DVDs, and then they go, "Oh, do you feel that stretch? Oh, I can feel it opening up." No, I don't. I don't feel. I feel like I'm just moving my arm to the left and holding it. No, it doesn't do anything for me. It's just weird.
Yeah.
I'd rather get in the hot tub and relieve that, soreness or whatever later on. That's more my speed.
That works too. And it definitely loosens up the muscles. And you may not be that tight. I don't know. Some people are super tight.
Now he gave me a So I just always heard it was good to stretch so that it was a good recovery thing for after you've done a workout to stretch. So figure I'd ask the professional.
It is good to stretch for sure. But it's also possible to overstretch, and there's a thing that's like you have your underactive muscles and your overactive muscles, and you want to be stretching your underactive muscles, not your overactive. So you want to be stretching the right muscles that you need to stretch. So it's not good necessarily just to stretch, but you definitely want to touch on the ones that you need. So it's different for everyone. Like, sometimes if you're sitting at a desk all day, then I would recommend opening up your chest and stretching your chest, or some people have tight legs. It just really depends on the person.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I was just curious about that.
Well, the answer is yes, stretch.
There you go.
Are you a fan of yoga? Do you recommend yoga to your clients? As far as isn't that just a constant stretch, or is that? I mean, I know you're working muscles as well, but I feel like each pose is just a stretch and hold.
Yeah, totally. Yoga's great. I mean, I always say if you enjoy yoga, go for it. But if you hate it, then what's the point? But yoga's awesome. It gives you a good, nice stretch. There's different types too. Some yoga, the poses are held longer, and some yoga classes, it's like a constant flow through the positions. So yeah, it just depends on which one.
I'm too ADD or something. It's not enough movement. It's not enough. I'm ready for something else. I'm bored,
Yeah,
and you
I'm
got
the same way, so.
You're okay. Good. I feel guilty.
No,
I'm not trying to make
I
excuses.
want to be moving. I want to be sweating. That's just my style for myself. But
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he likes to do the stuff that makes him sweat real good too. He doesn't, unless he breaks a good sweat, I don't think he really feels like he's worked out much.
Doesn't count, right?
Yeah, I think that's what he thinks, and then so, which is fine. That's fine if that makes you feel good. That's what you should do. I think, but. So,
is that your triplets? Is that your only children?
Yep, that's it.
And
Nice.
and 4 months old?
4 months. They'll be 4 months on Friday. 3 girls. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh no! Now you have to tell the story real quick. You thought you were having twins, but then you ended up having triplets. You got to tell me. You got to tell the story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's really a story for it's crazy. So yeah, my wife got pregnant actually last March, so the very beginning of the quarantine, lockdown, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And we went into our 8-week appointment and found out we were having twins, which is like a total surprise. Because we actually didn't do IVF. It was just a natural, it just happened naturally. And so that was a shock.
Yeah.
Twins. And so she had 12 or 13 ultrasound appointments, and literally none of them saw the third baby. So the third triplet went undetected for 9 months. So
Wow.
we thought we were having twins the whole 9 months. We have our I think she was 35 weeks and 4 days. We had our scheduled C-section, and we had it that early because one of them had IUGR, so she wasn't really growing as much as they would like, so they wanted to kind of get her out.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I went in so early, at 35 weeks for twins. And so we had our appointment 9 a.m., and during the C-section, they found a third baby. Just total shock, total surprise.
Oh my
The
goodness.
first two came out. The first one was, I think, born at 10:24. Second one at 10:26. And like, we thought we were done. We made it. We're like, okay, this is awesome. Let's go to our room. And then 4 minutes later, the doctor was like, "There's another baby," and everyone was just like floored, shocked.
Wow. Wow.
It's a girl. You have 3 girls. It was very emotional and just shocking, and it was awesome. I mean, we didn't really have time to think about it or, adjust to it. It's just like, okay, we have 3 babies now, so let's do this.
Wow, because okay, so we found out 5 months in that we had twins.
Okay.
I had no early ultrasound because it took us over a year to get pregnant. So I knew all my dates. So I didn't have an early ultrasound. So our first ultrasound was to find out whether we were having one boy or one girl.
And anytime they ever did the heartbeat on her belly, you read left to right. So he'd put that monitor on her belly on the left side and find the heartbeat. Oh, there it is. I found it already. Here it is. And it's healthy. It's good. So when we go to find out the sex, they're like, that's the skull, that's the backbone, that's the heart, that's the arm, that's the hand. Well, it looks like it's holding a ball. What is it holding? And the nurse says, that's another head. And then she pushes herself away from the desk and leaves the room. And on her way out, she says, "I'm not qualified for twins. You're going to have to hold on a while," because the other lady that was qualified was with a patient. And we just looked at each other and our jaws hit the floor.
We were in shock. But I heard your story and I was like, well, at least maybe we found out late, but at least we knew ahead of time that we were having twins.
How does your stroller work? I mean, triplets, that's a lot of questions here.
Yeah, you have a lot to add on. Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, we had 2 of everything. So we bought 2 cribs, we bought 2 bassinets, we had a double stroller, and the only really thing that was super important that we got right away was a 3rd car seat, and then we actually just used a double stroller, and we got the same one in a single. Because, at this point, I don't think there's going to be one person with the 3 of them for a while. So it's like 2 people can push them. So we made it work, but it's definitely been an adjustment.
I bet. But that's just amazing. That's amazing. I don't know. I would have been just in shock. And just, I don't know. I don't know how I would have handled it, but that's awesome that you guys have 3 beautiful little girls. I've seen pictures on Facebook, and they are just the cutest little girls.
We were in shock finding out at 5 months, the day of, and finding out in the operating room.
That would be
a
whole nother level. Yeah, so
pretty
amazing.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so...
Well, before we wrap everything up, is there anything else you'd like to get out before I do the plugs for your website and everything?
No. Just appreciate you guys having me and talking about it. Again, my philosophy is, overall wellness and helping people with it all as a whole versus that, all or nothing mentality and really learning how to kind of get out of that and make some lifelong changes. So that's kind of my viewpoint on it all. And, again, thanks so much for having me today.
Thank you, and just stay on the line because we're going to do some plugs real quick, and then we'll wrap everything up with you after we finish these plugs. Hold on one second. It's Madeleine Schwartz Training. Madeleine, I told you, hold on a second. Is that a normal spelling of Madeleine? I had such a hard time making notes. Is that a normal spelling?
It's a French spelling.
So spell it for everybody, MadeleineSchwartzTraining.com. So it is?
It's Madeleine Schwartz, SCHWARTZ, training.com.
Perfect. And you got the Facebook group, Fit Mothers of Multiples.
Mm-hmm.
You've been awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for letting us pick your brain.
Yes.
Thank you for being on here. Guys, check her out. She knows what she's doing. She's got, she's certified in all these different things, and she will help you out, and she will get you in shape. So thank you, Madeleine. You're awesome. And tonight on Jewel TV, they're airing episode 1 of season 2 called COVID Quarantine: The Beginning. Jewel TV is on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Jewel TV app, and tons of other places. It's in over 100 million households. All you have to do is look for it. You'll find it. On March 26th at 7 p.m., we'll be performing our Magic and Illusion show live on stage but zoomed into your living room. This is a fundraising show for a couple different schools, and your purchase will truly help them out. For tickets, check out my events page at wesiseli.com. And on April 17th at 6:30, we'll be performing at Goochland County Parks and Rec. For tickets, go to goochlandva.us. This will be a live and in-person show, and all COVID regulations will be observed. So if you want to check that out, that's goochlandva.us. See you next week. Today's episode of the podcast is sponsored by Express Copy and Graphics. Mention promo code Wes Iseli to get 10% off. Their website is expresscopy.com. That's XPRESS-COPY.com. They do it all. Copies, banners, signs, vehicle wraps, promo items, practically anything you need printed, they can do it for you. These guys are great. Check them out. Check us out online at wesiseli.com and patreon.com/Wes_Iseli for behind-the-scenes videos, blooper videos, never-before-seen footage, discounts on merchandise, magic trick tutorials, and more. That's Wes Iseli, spelled WESISELI.